you told your friend you're not okay? And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Got a buildup of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay? Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. As you fade away.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Everything Weekly. I'm your host, Luke, and with me today is...
your co-host, Jack.
This is the show where we talk about everything that happened this week in DC, Marvel, and more.
In today's episode, we will be talking about the brand new Superverse and answer some questions that you guys may have.
Please enjoy the show. This is Everything Weekly with Luke and Jackson. So, welcome everybody. Jack, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty good as well. I'm super excited for the first episode in this weekly series. We are not sure maybe yet if this will be a recurring occurrence for Jack to be with us. Maybe this is just a special 1 week thing, or um, maybe some better, or maybe some more times he will also be with us. So let's start because we have a lot to go over today. But before we do begin, if you were here yesterday, I did go over the San Diego Comic Con full schedule, and I didn't have time to go over where you guys can have the choices for how I am going to cover all of it. So I put together the 6 most big panels that has to do with DC and Marvel. Sadly, there is no big panels that has to do with Star Wars, but with Marvel and DC, I did put those panels all together, and then I also they are going to be having the Gotham Knights video game panel, but I did not include that in this list for one of the choices you guys can choose, just because I'll probably talk about that when I have time in one of these choices. But before we do continue, I do know Jack, you are pretty excited when it comes to video games. So before we do continue, are you excited for the Gotham Knights video game to come out?
I am very excited for that game to come out. Hopefully later. I'm very sad that it won't be on last gen consoles. So that'll be very sad. So I won't be able to play it probably as soon as it. So I'll have to wait a while. But I am very, very excited for this video game to come out.
Yeah, and like what Jack said about hoping it to come out later this year, it is coming out later this year with the initial release date being October 25th. So by the time San Diego Comic Con is in a week from today, or I guess 2 days ago, on next Thursday, in just a couple months, we will have Gotham Knights, and it will only be on, sadly, Xbox Series X and Series S, PlayStation 5, and Microsoft Windows. So I will also not be able to play it, but that doesn't mean I won't be covering it. So I will be covering that Gotham Knights game, which I'm also super excited for. So now we can get into these choices. So the only time that there's really much of these big panels are Friday and Saturday, even though San Diego Comic Con is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I only have these available I'm going to have a choice to live stream on Friday and Saturday, which each day having 5 different choices you guys can choose, the viewers, for how I cover it. So the first choice for Friday is that I have a 1 hour live stream from 2 to 3 p.m. going over the Marvel Studios animation panel. So that would be going over the panel that has What If, has the Marvel Zombies, all the Disney Plus animation panels on there. And that panel will not be live reacting coverage. So for those who may or may not know, if you are not going to San Diego Comic Con, you can actually still attend because Marvel is doing a live stream on their YouTube channel that you're able to view. But Marvel will not be live at that time during that panel, so I won't be able to have live reacting to the news live, but I will be able to have it after the fact when all the news is out. So that is the first choice, and that's a 1 hour live stream. And then that would go along with choice one would also be a 1 hour live stream from 5:15 to 6:15 for the Marvel Comics panel, which is another hour, and then that would be that choice one for Friday would be 2 hours of live streaming in all for that one day. So that's your first choice, and then your second choice is a total of 2 hours and 30 minutes of live streaming and all that day, where I again from 2 to 3 p.m. would have an hour live stream, but instead um, of a having a non-live reacting coverage of the Marvel Comics, Marvel will be live at that time, so I will be able to have a live coverage of Marvel Comics. So you are able to react to me live. So those are your two choices so far. Now, I know it might be kind of hard to remember all of these, considering there's 5 for Friday. So I don't know if there's an easier way we could do this um, to try and figure out. Jackson, do you have a good idea about maybe how we can make this easier to do?
I'm not really a whole lot sure how we can make that easier, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah. So it's just kind of, it would be probably hard to remember. I think I'll say, maybe I won't say specifically what panels if it's not that important, I guess. Or I won't say the exact times because this kind of gets confusing trying to remember all times I'll be live. So I'll just say how long the live streams are and then what panels they are. So it might be a little bit easier. So again, for choice one on Friday, I would be having no live coverage. It will all just be after the news is out for 2 1 hour live streams. And then for Friday, I would have one non-live coverage and then one live coverage while it's actually releasing, watching that live stream for Marvel. And that will bring a total of 2 hours and 30 minutes for Friday. So those are your two choices so far. And then your third choice for Friday would just be one big live stream combined, where I would have, it would be a 2 hour, would be the, oh yeah. So that would just be the one panel for the Marvel Studios animation not live, or would be not live coverage from, and then right after that, it would lead right into live coverage of the Marvel comics. So instead of breaking it up at one panel in the morning, one panel in the afternoon, it will just be one big panel in the afternoon going over all of it in one. It still would be 2 hours and 30 minutes. And the fourth choice is the same exact thing as the first choice, but instead it would be starting with the live coverage and then going into the just non-live coverage instead of starting with the non-live coverage and then the live one. So it's just kind of flip-flopped, and then that would be a total of 2 hours in all. And then your final choice for Friday would be the smallest, you could say, of live streaming, with only 1 hour of live streaming, where I just do a recap of the whole entire day. So instead of doing it exactly when the news comes out, it's just a whole recap on the whole day. So that's your fifth choice. So I'll let you guys see what your choice you would like to do. And again, probably the biggest panel between these two, if this helps you decide, I would probably say the animation panel, because that is actually TV shows, while the comics panel, if you don't really like comics, then that probably would be, I guess you could say, the less of the panels. So when they're thinking about what choice they would like to have, are you excited, Jack, for to see what these panels, see what they have in store for these?
I am. I'm very excited for that. Yeah. I'm excited to see what it does and for your coverage on it.
Yeah, so now the only thing which could, have some of the conversation here is I do think um, something that they are doing different this year, which I don't know, and I want to hear your opinion on if you think this is better or if this is worse, that instead of just having one big Marvel panel with live action, and that was really it, because all in the previous years they just had one panel, and that's mainly because Marvel only had one canon like universe, which is all live action. But this year, with the introduction of Disney Plus, they have a lot of new animation. So they have separate panels, one for animation, one for live action. So do you think that's a good idea now, or do you think it's just better if it's all in one place?
I would say that having it split up into different, like little side panels, I guess you could say, would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And like, because then you have just more variety you can like see, and it's not just in one like big like little segment. Like, there's different little
Right,
breaking off into the panels.
right. So I see some of the comments coming in saying that you like the two panels. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's better where then, you maybe just are a fan of live action, so then you can just go to the live action one without it being, some people could say, well, this is a whole, 30 minutes of just, nothing that I actually care about versus where you could just go to something for, an hour or 30 minutes that's a little bit better. So, I or more that you enjoy. So, still seeing here, um, still waiting for what your choice may be. And um, again, if you did forget, I won't say exactly what it is. I know some people probably are want to decide this on more on the like how long I'll be live streaming that day instead of what it really is, because you might be busy or whatever. So I'll just go through each choices and the overall live streaming time. And the other thing too is this is the first time that I am live streaming with two people. So if one of us is a little bit quieter and then the other person is a little bit louder or whatever it may be, I can turn down one specific person. So like let's say I'm really, really loud, but Jack's microphones are kind of quiet, then I can turn, me down and then turn his microphone up and all that stuff. So let me know if everything sounds good on that end as well. So again, so for choice 1, it is 2 hours of live streaming in all. For choice 2, it is 2 hours and 30 minutes. For choice 3, it is 2 hours and 15 minutes. For choice 4, it is 2 hours. And for choice 5, it is 1 hour. So, it is those different choices. So, we'll see here. And then just so that we can kind of go back and forth between things, because this is a little bit confusing to explain, it might take a little bit, we can start on the other thing while we're also going through this, so we can go back and forth. So now for, I guess you could say, the official start of the Everything Weekly episode 1 is talking about what is the Superverse. So for those who may not have known, the Arrowverse did they did actually, sadly, I guess you could say, end the Arrowverse, and now they're having this new Superverse, with the first show being Superman and Lois. So I did have a post on Twitter a couple of days ago where you guys can ask any questions you may have. Now, this was before the Superverse news came out, but I do see some comments that are here that is actually going over asking about the Superverse, so this is kind of a 2-in-1 special to everything. So the so I can go over the questions you had not about the Superverse and questions you may have had about it. And so one second. And again, as a reminder, the choices are for Friday. It would be 2 hours of live streaming in all with no live coverage. And then choice 2 would be 2 hours and 30 minutes of live streaming in all for 1 non-live coverage and 1 live coverage. And by non-live coverage, I mean not that I'm going to be doing a coverage like a video. That means I will be reacting to it live. So that's what I mean by that. And then for choice 3, it is 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then for choice 4, it is 2 hours. And then for choice 5, it is 1 hour. So the longest time would be choice 2 for 2 hours and 30, and then choice 5 for an hour. So I do see in the comment, I can put this on the screen. So 2.5 hours total. Live and reaction is my vote. So 2 hours and a half total. So choice 2, which again I will be live for 1 hour from 2 to 3, going over the Marvel Studios animation panel for not live coverage, and then or not live reacting, and then again from 3:45 to 5:15 for an hour and 30 minutes, where I will be going over the Marvel Comics panel with my live reaction. And who knows, maybe Jack will also be here for maybe one of those, or maybe both of those panels as well. So before I do continue to again break this up again, I do want to ask Jack, what is your opinion? I don't know if you've heard a lot about this new Superverse, but do you like the idea of changing it now that a lot of these shows, and now that almost all of the Arrowverse shows are over with, other than the Flash, which the Flash is only expected to have 1 more season. That did get out. I don't know if it was for sure. David Ramsey, who plays Diggle in the Arrowverse on The Arrow, he was in an interview who announced all this stuff about the Superverse, and he did say that Flash Season 9 will be the last. I don't know if he was supposed to announce that. I don't know if, people over the Flash may get mad at him for announcing that, but I'm not sure if that is true or not. But now that, the Flash may be ending with Season 9, it is the last show. So do you think it's a good idea that they're changing the title since this is the last show in this so-called Arrowverse, or do you kind of wish they just kept the name and they just, added new shows to it?
I think I think they should have probably just kept the original name and just added shows to it. I think it would have been a lot more simpler. Simpler is a word? More simple.
Yeah.
That way to do it. Instead of just creating a whole new title and trying to get all the shows in there. I think it would have just been easier to keep the name and then just add shows to it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, the way I'm taking it almost is like, it's kind of like if you look at Marvel, first things first, I feel like Marvel always plans stuff way better than DC. Like, the CW had their Arrowverse crossover, the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where they had this huge crossover connecting all the shows together from all the different Earths, but then just 2 years later, they stop it, and it's kind of like it's kind of confusing to me. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
Here, can you say it again? It cut out a lot. I couldn't really hear you.
Oh, I was saying that, like, how Marvel can just plan everything really, really well between the different phases and the different, like, sagas and all that stuff. But then, you have the Arrowverse that had had this, crossover, this big crisis crossover, connecting all the shows together, but then just 2 years later, they're connecting them all, not connecting them anymore.
I think Marvel did a better job of that, like planning wise. I think.
I feel like they definitely did a way better job when it comes to that. And I think another thing too is like if you look at Marvel, they had their like from phases 1 through 3, they had their Infinity Saga, which was all like the Infinity Stones, Thanos, all those things. And if I look at it like the Arrowverse like this, it's almost like the first um, the first bit, of like the Arrowverse was almost like their first saga. Like that was like the Infinity Saga was the Arrowverse, and now they're going to their second saga, which is the Superverse. I don't know if that's how you're looking at it, or how are you looking at it, Jack?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it like that as well. I think.
Um, yeah. So, let me see here. So, we can go to now some of these Q&A questions. But before we do continue, do you have to say, anything so far about what we talked about, Jack?
Not really. I think we can just kind of go into the Q&A now. I think.
Yeah. So one of the questions that we did have was the first question, which was, is there any way, and again, all of these are from my Twitter, so my Twitter will be in the link below of this video, and you guys, I do these a lot, well, I mean, I'm going to try to do these a lot. This is the first one I've ever done, but I see how it goes, and it's where you guys can put the comments in there, and then or replies, and then we can answer them on the live stream. So the first one is there any way that we will see the Legends, Batwoman, or Naomi again? So for those who do not know, Legends, or DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, and the brand new show which only lasted one season, Naomi, they all got canceled on the CW. And I think if I was answering this question before, if I was answering this question before the Superverse stuff came out, I would say yes, but now that after, I don't see them coming back at all. Because it's this brand new Earth. If it was still the Arrowverse, I could see some of these characters coming back, but since it's the brand new, universe and stuff, I don't see it, see them coming back. What do you think, Jack? Do you think even though they're having this new universe, do you think there might be like doppelgangers of them? Because that could also always be a possibility.
Yeah, I don't think that could be a massive possibility, but I've noticed from other DC like shows and whatnot, there have been doppelgangers of the same people in different universes. So I think it's a slight possibility, but not not a uh, not a massive possibility that they could return.
Yeah. So the next question I'll have Jackson answer this question, or Jack, or yeah, Jack or Jackson answer this question. So will the new Superverse all take place on one Earth only? If you
Ooh,
know that.
that's a tough question. Because I know a lot of other DC shows have known to have multiple Earths. So I think that is a I might they might actually be on one Earth, but you never know with it being DC and other universe and world stuff. So we're not for sure. Like we don't have confirmation that'll be on one Earth planet thing, but um, I have possibility that it could be.
Yeah, and I think too, like for example, with the Arrowverse, they had Supergirl on Earth, 36, I think? Don't take my word for that. I'm not that sure, but I think it might have been Earth 36. I can't remember. The only reason I know that is because they make it pretty clear in a lot of the other shows that Supergirl's on that Earth. So I think it's that Earth, but like Supergirl was in the Arrowverse, and they're on a different Earth. So I guess it could make sense that these new shows, could be on a on another Earth and still be in this Superverse. So the next question that I will answer is what new CW Superverse show will debut first? So I think I answered this when I first started talking about this. The first CW Superverse show is actually not a new one. Well, I guess to explain this, it's the so Superman and Lois is the first show to be in this new universe, but it's not the first to debut because Superman and Lois is already on season 3. So seasons 1 and 2 was not technically in the Arrowverse, even though when the Arrowverse was still going on. It was in this Superverse, we just didn't know. We didn't know that there was a Superverse, and we didn't know, everyone assumed because this show's on the CW, it's in the Arrowverse. So, I guess you could say Superman and Lois. So, the next question here is I think if Jackson, if you want to answer this one.
Okay.
So this question is, what new shows will be included in the Superverse that we know of? Oh, and I actually do I do see a comment. Jackson, do you want to answer that one?
Maybe a better question is, what is the second Superverse show to debut?
Oh yeah, go. You go.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I have no idea. Maybe after the Superman and Lois, maybe it could be an Arrow. It could be like the possibility of like a Gotham something night, right? Wasn't that
Yes.
rumored around a little bit?
Yes. That so the Gotham Knights show. So it's kind of confusing. I don't really like how they named it the same thing, but there's the there was the Gotham Knights video game and then the Gotham Knights television series. And they said that Gotham Knights is, I guess, would be the second show that will debut on this universe. With then, this answers the next questions: what shows will be included in the Superverse, which is also going to be the brand new Justice U show as well, which is the show where you can almost think of like the X-Men from Marvel, and then also like Young Justice from DC. It's kind of like that, where it has Diggle from the Arrow mentoring these kids who are young superheroes and all these stuff and all that stuff, which is super exciting. So I will go off that comment, and then we have one last question here. I think we could both talk about this, Jack, because even I don't know this one. This is a little bit of a confusing one, so this will have a good discussion just to go back and forth on. Now, I don't know if you have that good of an idea with what DC fandom is, Jack, but this question is, do you know what's happening with DC Fandom 2022? Will there be an event this year? So, the reason why I don't know an answer is because I don't know either. I don't know. I think it's a little bit weird they haven't talked anything about it because they had one in 2020, They had one in 2021. They haven't said anything about it in 2022, and I think they announced it about early July of last year, and that event was in October, and now it's kind of getting into late July, and so that doesn't mean it has to be in October, but I don't know. It seems like it's a little bit weird. And they even said like last year in 20, or not last year, but 2 years ago in 2020, once that event was over, they said see you in 2021 with DC Fandom 2. So like they said there was a second one, but now they aren't saying anything. And because of San Diego Comic-Con coming back and all, of everything kind of going back to normal, I don't think they will do a virtual convention anymore. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it, Jack?
Yeah, for a DC fandom like 2022, there hasn't been a lot of news on it at all, so I'm not 100% sure what they're doing with it this year. I know that 2021 was a good year for that, but as of 2022, there hasn't really been any news on it, so um, I'm uh, I'm unsure as well.
Yeah, and I think like I think because of the kind of like I guess you could say the criticism that they got a lot from the 2021 one was I think probably because in 2020 they had the huge 24-hour event where you could choose what you wanted to watch. They had like 24 hours worth of content, and you could choose to watch the Flash panel. You could choose to watch the Gotham Knights panel for the video game. You could choose what panels. While in DC Fandom 2021, it was for 24 hours. They said, but really you can still watch it right now. Like if you go to dcfandom.com, I'm pretty sure if you go there right now, you can still watch it. So it's definitely been more than 24 hours because that came out in October. And again, it was just one huge, like 3.5 hour live stream. And what I'm talking, if you want to do me a favor, Jack, do you actually want to go to um, dcfandom.com and see if it's still open? You may have
I will do
to,
that. DC
yeah,
fandom.
and just see if it still pops up, like the thing. Because it is, interesting because it came out October 16th and it's still viewable as of the last time I checked it. So um, I think a lot of people did not like it for that, and maybe they just said, we're going to forget about it. We're not going to do it this year. And yeah. So,
I have to
um,
enter my birth.
oh yeah, is it the age gate or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're doing that, I'll answer this question we just got. I'll show it on the screen. I don't think DC Fandom was that bad, but I wasn't crazy about all the pre-recorded content. Um, yeah, I would agree. Like, I don't think like at least they did something, but I think it with all the pre-recorded content, I feel like it didn't really there wasn't really any panels. It was just this host saying, "Here's the Flash trailer, here's the Black Adam trailer, here's the blank trailer," whatever it may have been. Um, and it was just kind of like that. So it obviously felt like it was pre-recorded. While in the 2021, it felt like it was a lot different, and it was actually live because it was the panels with the everyone's face on it and all the cast members and all that stuff. So yeah, what does it say, Jack?
I need to look for it.
Okay, it
Um,
may not. Um, it may not go in. It should be the first thing. Like it should be like a little video you can play.
yeah,
Like right
the
when you
little
go in,
video.
it. Yes, and is it? Is it like
Yep, it's a 3-hour live stream. It's still there.
yeah, so it's still there. That's why it's like I feel like that's a little bit of uh a weird thing. So before we do go any further and actually do our live chat Q&A, I will go and talk about the Saturday thing. So we did decide to have the second choice for Friday. Now we can go over for Saturday. This is a little bit of a big one. So for Saturday, choice one is 3 hours of live streaming in all. A lot of live streaming, but it's all broken up into 1 hour live streams. So the first live stream would be 11:30 to 12:30. The second live stream would be from 4:15 to 5:15, and then the third live stream would be from 6:15 to 7:15. And that all of it is not my live reaction. So all of it would just be after the news comes out and I just talk about it. So none of it will be live. It will all just be me talking about it after the news came out. Then the next choice number 2, has a one live reaction where I actually react to it live as soon as they release it on the Marvel live stream, which is from 4:45 to 6:15, and is the Marvel Studios panel. So probably one of the biggest panels, the Marvel Studios panel, which is really, really big, and that would be for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and that would be for a total that whole day, 3 hours and 30 minutes of live streaming in all. And again, the live streams today, or not the live streams today, I meant to say the panels on Saturday that I would be covering would be the Warner Brothers panel that talks all about the DC movies, the Marvel Comics Judgment Day, and then the Marvel Comics Next Big Thing, and then the Marvel Studios panel. So those 4 panels, that's why it's a little bit of a bigger day. So again, that was choice 2 for having my live reaction to the Marvel Studios panel, and then the rest of the panels being after the news. And then for choice number 3 is a total of 2 hours and 15 minutes of live streaming in all, where I have one live stream combined of back to back, all just one live stream for the whole day, going over the live content and for the Marvel Studios, and then going over all of the other stuff for about 45 minutes before the live panel happens. And then choice 4 is the exact same thing, but instead I would be going over the live stuff first, and then I would be talking after the live panel. I would be talking about all the other stuff that happened. So it's just flip-flopped. And then finally, choice 5 is the one that I had as the same for choice 5 and for Friday, and it's just the shortest one. It's for 1 hour of live streaming in all, where it's just for 1 hour, and it's a recap on the whole day, where I talk about everything that happened, and there's not a live reaction at all. So the another thing too is I did actually get in contact with Marvel, and I asked them a few questions about if I could live stream their panel and to see if I get copyrighted or not. I said it takes a little bit for them to respond because it is the weekend. But if they respond back and they say no, then that would, some of these choices may be a little bit different. So yes. So I see here we have number 5 first choice and number 2 second choice. So 2 choices. So if you would want the 2 choices, the best thing that would be the best of both of those worlds would probably be the 3rd or the 4th choice, which is where I just have one big live stream where I have my live reaction to the Marvel Studios, and then right after or right before, I have I just talk about all the other stuff that came out during that day. So that would be the closest to what you said. So choice 3 is the news content first and then the live reaction, while choice 4 is the live reaction first and then the news content. So, choice 4. Okay, so choice 4 would be the live reaction first to the Marvel Studios panel, and then right after the live reaction, I will talk all about the Warner Brothers panel, the Marvel Comics Judgment Day, and the Marvel Comics Next Big Thing. So I will write that down right here, and then the other choice, choice 2. So, as a reminder, and then you have about 10 or so minutes just doing some Q&As with the live chat. I do just want to confirm that for Friday, the schedule will be from 2 to 3 p.m. I will be going over the Marvel Studios animation panel, which is the non-live reacting coverage for 1 hour. And then again on Friday from 3:45 to 5:15 for 1 hour and 30 minutes, I'll be going over the Marvel Comics panel for live coverage. So that's for Friday. And then for Saturday, I will be going over from 4:45 to 6 p.m. the Marvel Studios panel for live coverage, watching it live, so my live reaction. And then right after that panel from 6 o'clock to 6:45, again, that's just one live stream, we'll be going over the Warner Brothers panel, the Marvel Comics panel, and then the Marvel Comics Next Big Thing, which is like the panel where it's going to talk about, next what's coming up. So those are the choices. So you will see live streams on my channel probably right after this live stream. I will set them up, and we have almost exactly 10 minutes of just doing a Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, it could be about the San Diego Comic-Con, about my schedule for the filming, for content, or it could be just a question about the actual schedule, or it could be a question about the Superverse or anything else. So, yes, you can wait until we have some questions in here. And I did not mean to share that. So, when I wait for some questions to pop up, Jack, how was your first time being on? Well, I think actually you were on the channel one time before, but it wasn't really that official because we couldn't have it like this where you're actually in the live stream. We had to do it a little bit different where I think we had we were calling and I put my phone to the audio and it was really, really unofficial. But so I guess you could say your official first time on the live stream.
Yeah, no, this live stream is good. I think what you talk about is great. All of the TV show news and whatnot. So I think it's a neat little live stream. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Do you think maybe you'll join back for Everything Weekly episode 2 next week?
Maybe, definitely, yeah. If I have my plate isn't full, then I'll definitely pop in and say hi if I can.
Yeah. Well, I think the viewers will enjoy that because I think they probably like it better when someone else is here, not just me talking. So, yeah, probably enjoy a little bit better. So, and who knows, maybe you can also pop in if you're not busy or if you want to for some of the San Diego Comic-Con panels. But I do have a question here. I will show it on the screen, and if you want, because it seems like more of a opinion type of question, more than something that you would need to, know the answer to. So, Jack, if you want to answer that question that I just put on screen.
Do you think the Superverse crossover with another DC's? Maybe. Do I think the super crossover with it probably could. It um with the DC's history of crossovers, I think it could cross over with other universes and whatnot.
Yeah, I think too. I think it can maybe. I mean, maybe we'll see the Titans pop up or Doom Patrol from other like HBO Max. I don't know. But it would be. Yeah, I think definitely a possibility. It might just be a little bit until that does happen, but I think it'll be definitely really really cool. Um, I like hearing from both of you. Yeah, so it is fun having two people to talk, or another person to talk to, and you guys having two people to talk to. So, yeah. I will see here. Um, if there's not any more questions, I will. I did not mean to do that. I can see any new thing here. Oh, another thing too is apparently the Marvel panel for like what they're going to be talking about at San Diego Comic-Con got leaked. It's expected not to be true. So like some people are saying it is true and half the other people are saying it's not true. So I'm not going to share it because I don't want to share something that may not be true. But I'm just saying that because if you see it going around, it may not be true, or it may not be true, will be true. So, yeah. So, let's see here. I don't see anything. Not see anything new of things. I do. I mean, I know this wasn't really mainly what we were talking about today for a Everything Weekly, and technically this happened last week. But since it is episode 1, we haven't really had time to talk about this before. But have you watched the brand new Thor: Love and Thunder movie, Jack?
I have not. I've been meaning to go see it, but I haven't really had a lot of time to go see it. It seems like a really good movie. So don't spoil it for me, but
I won't.
Go see it later. So yeah, I probably will go see it, but yeah, I've heard it's really good. So
Yeah. I will go here really quickly, and just as a reminder, because this probably will be the last time before I see you guys until I start my coverage on San Diego Comic-Con, I may be, here another time, but probably won't be. But before I do, I will go through some of these quick panels very, very quickly and talk and read the descriptions for them one last time for the ones I'll be covering. I will read a look inside the making of the Gotham Knights video game. That is from 3 to 4 p.m. on Thursday for 1 hour. You can probably see it somewhere on YouTube. I'm not sure. But the description does follow as it says, step into the night with the Gotham Knight video game team as they discuss the upcoming open world action RPG. So, pretty exciting there. And then the one panel I will be talking about is the there's also the Multiverses panel, which is another video game panel. So, Jack, you may be interested in that. It is on Friday from 10:15 to 11:15 for 1 hour, and you get to go behind the scenes look at Multiverses, the all-new free-to-play platform fighter video game featuring an ever-expanding cast of beloved heroes and personalities from Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn from DC. So, pretty cool game. I think it seems like it's going to be a game like the Injustice game, which is pretty exciting. So, yeah.
Okay.
The Marvel Studios animation panel from 11:45 to 1:15 p.m. for 1 hour and 30 minutes. Marvel Studios head of streaming, television, and animation, and then the head of visual development and special guests dive into all things animation with exclusive looks at X-Men 97, Marvel Zombies, What If Season 2, and more. So, very exciting. When I'm trying to find the next panel for the description, have you heard of the Multiverses game, Jack?
The multiverse game, I think so. I think I've heard a little bit about it online, but I haven't really dug into it a lot.
Yeah. Do you think that would be, a game that you may be interested in or you may be playing?
Probably. I'll probably start playing it later, but
Yeah, I think it seems like a pretty cool game. I don't know if they said the platforms yet, but yeah. Another panel which is pretty cool that you might want to see that is the world premiere panel of the Green Lantern Beware My Power, which is pretty exciting. You can view that on July 22nd when it comes on where everyone else can see on July 26th, so a couple days earlier. And before we do end the stream for today, I will read the two next big panels for the Warner Brothers panel for DC, where it says Warner Brothers Pictures returns to Comic-Con International San Diego, continuing the studio's tradition of bringing the fans an exciting Hall H presentation. This year's lineup, the highly anticipated Black Adam and Shazam, Fury of the Gods, with huge stars Dwayne Johnson, Zachary Levi, and more. And then finally, last but not least, probably one of the biggest panels that everyone's looking forward to is the Marvel Studios panel from 5 to 6 p.m. on Saturday, where the Marvel Studios president and producer Kevin Feige and special guests provide a look inside at the ever-expanding Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we have about 3 minutes. Well, I mean, we would normally go from 7 to 8, but we did start a little bit later, so we can go the extra 2 minutes if we want to. But anything else you would like to say about stuff we were talking about today, or any Superverse, any San Diego Comic-Con, anything else?
No, not really.
Yeah. Well, I think that may do it for today. I was your EDM host, Luke, and with me today was
Jackson. I was your co-host for today.
Yes. So I hope that you guys all enjoyed the live stream today. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to always be notified when we make a future video or live stream. And I did forget, it is a new weekend. Today is Saturday, so every new weekend we do have a new feature that is added to the live stream, and this weekend it is the co-host. So our first ever co-host is the new feature for today. So thank you all so much for watching. We will be back next week, either Saturday or Sunday. It depends. Maybe I'll be with Jackson. Maybe I won't. It all depends on if he's busy or if he's not. So I hope everyone had a fantastic day. Stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay yourself.